Hello, people. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to talk about dreams. And we all know what they are. Yes, many of us have went to those further away no man lands, including no woman lands as well. That means we travel to places that are not necessarily reachable by conventional means. So we travel so we do not completely rest. When the people, whoever lays their heads down and goes to sleep, and then they're in a restful state, but nevertheless, they do not rest because they go off to some dream adventure off, and then you cannot have complete rest if your mind is doing something anywhere, even if you're laying down. The only way to have complete rest is to lay down, go to sleep, but do not dream at all, but rather blank off into like a nowhere, a nothingness type of state where there's no perception, no sensory functions. And that is something that's called complete rest. When you ask many people, 9 times out of 10, that what is their idea of getting a very good night's rest, and those such people will say to sleep and rest comfortable, but not necessarily dream. They won't mention having any dreams. They won't put that in their complete restful periods. They will not regard dreams as being part of rest because you do too much in dreams to consider them to be of rest. Because when you think about rest, and you say if you think about rest anywhere in or out of dreams, you're thinking about laying down, sitting down, chilling out, laying back, closing your eyes, catching a little bit of wind. So you're talking about every restful state peaceful. But in dreams, there's interactions, there's changes in conditions, there's traveling around, walking around, conversations, dialogues, potential dangers that's perceived that way. It's like everything is going on night and day inside of those dreams. So somebody is focused that way, then they're doing something. And if they're doing something, then they're not at rest anyway. So so in other words, people obtain the complete, total extent of rest by going to sleep and blinking out of existence, where they will not dream at all whatsoever. And then they wake up from that same complete restful state, and then they know that they haven't dreamed, or they haven't came back from a dream. So I think people would count their blessings that way if they recognize the truthfulness in that, being that of complete rest is not obtainable in dreams, but it's obtainable when you're blanked out and unburdened with responsibility, obligation, duty, purpose, functionaries. If you're unburdened that way and you can completely rest without having to use any of those, then call that a good sleep, a great sleep, but not necessarily of a great dream. Yeah, folks. Well, thanks for hanging out again. Dream periods. Oh, and I'd appreciate it if you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to me, Detroit Miracle. Thank you.